Hello everyone, in this lecture, we are going to explain and differentiate between essential clause and non-essential clause. But, if you are new to my channel then please don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Let's first learn an essential clause. It can be defined as an essential clause, also known as a restrictive clause, is a clause that is necessary to identify the noun it modifies. What does it mean? Simply, it means that it's a kind of clause which is essential to the meaning of the sentence. And, it is also called a restrictive clause. Basically, if you want to understand the essential clause then, keep in mind these characteristics of the essential clause. The first one is: it is necessary to identify the noun it modifies. By this point, it means that an essential clause is important to identify the noun which modifies it. Actually, just keep in mind these points. I will give you some examples then you will see it. The next point is: they are not set off by commas. Remember this point, because it is very important to identify an essential clause in a sentence. It means that essential clause is not separated with commas. And, the next point is: they disturb the meaning of the sentence if they are removed. Basically, by this point, I mean that when we remove this clause from a sentence, then it often disturbs the whole sentence. Just look at these examples. The dog that barked all night kept me awake. Just look at this sentence. The group of words, that barked all night, is essential or restrictive clause. But, the question is: how? If you want to justify it then recall the characteristics, as we have mentioned. The first one was that it would modify a noun, so in this case, this group of words modifies the noun, the dog. And the second point was, it would not be separated with commas, so, you can see this group of words is also not separated with commas. The last point was that if it was removed from a sentence, then it would to some extent disturb the sentence. So, in this case, if we remove it, so this sentence does not make clear sense. Like, the dog kept me awake. You can see, we don't know that which dog made me awake and when. The sentence is to some extent disturbed. The next example is: the house where I grew up is still there. Look at this example. The group of words, where I grew up, is essential clause, or you can also call it a restrictive clause. Actually, this group of words describes the noun phrase, the house. And the next point is, it is not separated with a comma. And, just put aside this group of words. Like, the house is still there. You can see, it does not clear the sense without this group of words. Because, we don't know that which house is still there. The car that I just bought is a red Honda. Observe this example. The group of words, that I just bought, is a restrictive or essential clause. You can observe, it modifies the noun phrase, the car. And, it is not separated with commas. Simply, you can say, all the characteristics are existed here. So, therefore it is a restrictive or essential clause. On the other hand, a non-restrictive clause can be defined as a non-essential clause, also known as a non-restrictive clause, is a clause that provides additional information about the noun it modifies. What does it mean? Actually, it is kind of clause which is also called a non-restrictive clause. It is also like essential clause but to some extent it is different. But, if you want to identify it, then keep in mind these points. The first point is: it is separated with commas. Simply, it means that, it is one of the main points that this non-essential clause is always separated with commas. The next point is, it provides additional information. By this point, I mean that non-essential clause provides extra information about the noun which it modifies. Simply, you can say, if you put aside this clause, then the sentence will not be disturbed. Like, it will give us complete sense or the meaning will be clear. Just look at these examples. My friend, who is a doctor, lives down the street. Look at this sentence, the group of words, who is a doctor, is non-essential clause. But, how? The first point is, it is separated with commas, and the next point is, it modifies the noun phrase, my friend. The last and main point is, it gives us additional information about the noun phrase which it modifies. Basically, if you want to check it, just put aside it from this sentence. Like, my friend lives down the street. You can see, this sentence without the non-essential clause can give us clear sense. So, therefore, it is called non-essential clause. The next example is, my car, which I just bought, is a red Honda. Again observe this example, the group of words, which I bought, is non-essential or non-restrictive clause. Because it is separated with commas. And secondly, it provides additional information about the noun phrase, my car. And the third point is, if we put aside it from this sentence, then, the sentence can still make sense. Like, my car is a red Honda. You can see, it still makes a complete sense. Our president, who was elected last year, is giving a speech today. Observe this group of words, who was elected last year, is actually a non-essential or non-restrictive clause. It is therefore a non-essential clause because it modifies the noun phrase, our president. Secondly, this group of words is separated with commas. 30. It provides additional information about the noun phrase. By additional information, I mean, if you put aside this group of words from this sentence, then this sentence will still give a complete sense. Simply, you can say, all the characteristics are available here in this group of words, so that is why it is a non-essential clause. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this lecture, so, please don't forget like and subscription to the channel. Thank you.